Hey there, happy Sunday. Leva and Mary here with the Hive Tribe. We just wanted to hop on. We had held some space and created just a group opportunity to allow um, expressions to be shared. Just letting go of whatever we need to so that we don't have to carry it alone, right? Um, I'm not going to pretend, and we're not going to pretend that times are not really difficult right now, and that there's a lot of fear in the unknown. Um, so Leva and I just really wanted to take an opportunity to share some of the things that came up today. I'm going to pass it over to her. She has a couple of readings to share that are really beautiful that we found relevant. And then we're just going to share our experience and strength and hope for the whole. And yeah, we just really invite you into that space as well and invite you to go ahead and meet yourself wherever you're at and allow your truth to come forward. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Leva and let's go.
Hmm. Yeah, just taking a deep breath. It's been a beautiful and intense conversation and a beautiful and intense time. And it's an invitation to us, an invitation for us to look at what we hold as true and what we believe, what we feel is our responsibility, what we want to do about it, if anything, and how we hold each other because community is so important, especially in these times. Isolation is problematic. So when you actually are in community, when you can say exactly what you feel and know you aren't judged for it, that is such a gift. And earlier, I briefly went on Facebook, and a friend of mine had posted about a poem that Amanda Gorman had written regarding Alex Preddy, one of the gentlemen who unfortunately lost his life. And I looked up the poem and I wanted to share it. I shared it earlier in our group time and I wanted to share it here. And it says, for Alex Jeffrey Pretty. And if I'm mispronouncing his name, I apologize. Murdered by ICE, January 24, 2026, by Amanda Gorman. We wake with no words, just woe and wound. Our own country shooting us in the back is not just brutality, it's jarring betrayal, not enforcement, but execution. A message: love your people and you will die. Yet our greatest threat isn't the outsiders among us, but those among us who never look within. Fear not those without papers, but those without conscience. Know that to care intensively, united, is to carry both pain, dark horror for today, and a profound, daring hope for tomorrow. We can feel we have nothing to give and still beloved this world, waiting, trembling to change. If we cannot find words, may we find the will. If we ever lose hope, may we never lose our humanity. The only undying thing is mercy, the courage to open ourselves like doors, hug our neighbor, and save one more bright, impossible life. Sometimes when things are so tender and so intense, we may not have the words. Yet, this is a beautiful rendering of her position and what she feels, and whether you agree with it or not, it is an invitation to look at your lens and look at your community and how you want to stand. What do you stand for? Who do you stand for? And again, it's not about right or wrong. It's about what is true for me. And that,
Incredible.
yeah. And that can be different. And in our country, I don't currently live in the United States. However, it's still a part of me. It's still a part of the culture I grew up in. It's still a part of my heritage, as are many other pieces. And it's interesting, something I brought up is it's interesting to feel so removed in one way because I'm not right in the middle of it, and still feel, from friends, from family, from choosing to travel back to the United States, what will happen? Just being in that question. If our loved ones are going back and they're of a certain color, what happens? Does it matter if you're an American citizen? Does it matter if you're not? And this is what is currently happening. So it's not like something to like, oh, it happened somewhere else. It's actually happening right now. So again, whatever your feelings, where do you stand? And who do you stand for? And it reminded me of something I wrote several years ago. I had to look it up on Instagram. And it's a similar situation. It was around when George Floyd was murdered in the United States. And this is actually something I wrote a year later. So let's see, May 24th, 2021. And I want to share it because it felt very resonant. One man died so we could wake the fuck up. On the eve of the anniversary of George Floyd's murder, a blood moon and an eclipse, I'm posting a story I wrote last year. What did we learn? What did we change? 1 year later, how are you different? And that's the question. Is there is there ever a situation you would resort to murder? This question posed at the dinner party was really provocative. I had to think about it. My answer was yes. Yes, if someone hurt my sister and nothing was done about it. My sister is 1 year and 2 days younger than I. She experiences Down syndrome and has the mental capacity of about 2 to 3 years old. She's pure love and was the purest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Had she not been there, I would not have survived my childhood. Now, this dinner party, this conversation was about 20 years ago. Before I knew anything about energy, before I did a ton of spiritual work, I was full on eye for an eye, biblical justice. Though I've come so far, should something happen to my sister, or if I had children and nothing was done, I honestly can't say if my answer would be different, despite knowing the consequences. I don't know that all this spiritual work I've done would mean a damn in that moment. Someone might have to stop me. Someone might have to remind me of the spiritual principles I live by. You never know what you'll really do until something happens. There's been such grief in the earth lately. It calls to me. The grief, the pain, the spilled blood. I had tears for days in my client sessions, during my massage, while driving, even having to reground my client who has looting and riots 10 blocks from her because she lives in the St. Paul area. Because I have a voice and a platform, I'm using it. I teach spirituality, sexuality, and wealth. So I already talk about the things that are shadow, taboo, judged, controversial. I'm going to say something like that here. One man died, so we might wake the fuck up. On a human level, this is senseless and absolute bullshit. That it's even a question that it's murder is absurd. And on a spiritual level, a soul level, I know that everything happens for a reason. George Floyd died so we could wake the fuck up. I mean, seriously, the planet needed a global pandemic to halt the speeding train wreck humans have been creating. These things are not new. The treatment of the earth, the treatments of humans of another race, the disparity and lies of the financial system, the way we treat our bodies, the illusions we've created around what is important and not, the relationships that are so not working, the power we give away. The list can really go on and on. The human race needed such a wake up call that we needed pestilence and death. I mean, really? Genesis much? The coronavirus happened for a reason. George Floyd died for a reason. Let this not be in vain. Wake the fuck up. So it's interesting to read that. And I remember when I was inspired to write it and to see that I originally wrote that in 2020 and revisited in 2021. And here we are in 2026. And still, there's a through line. The question of what did we learn? What did we change? How are you different? How are things different? And are we willing for these tragedies? Again, whatever side you're on, are we willing for these tragedies to be the time when we start to change, to come together, to stop judging people based on color or religion or all sorts of things? Are we willing to start being the change? Are we willing to speak up? Are we willing to take personal responsibility? And that's the invitation. And it's been the invitation. You know, these are not new things. George Floyd dying in 2020 was not a new thing. In 2026, it's not a new thing. 50 years ago, it wasn't a new thing.
Yeah,
So, when do we learn? When do we change? When do we again take that individual responsibility to speak up, to change, to stand for our neighbor, to use whatever platforms, whatever power, whatever voice we have to stand for what we stand for and who we stand for.
absolutely. No, and so it was interesting. So, because you shared the Amanda Gorman poem, which is really beautiful. I love when people can speak what's in my heart. And then, but I thought about what you wrote, the George Floyd writing, and so it was really cool that you had brought that up as well. So I'm really glad we shared it. And and yeah, like that's it has. It's been heavy, you know. It's been I have a nervous laugh by the way, so if I giggle, it is not because there's anything really funny going on. It's just like it's hard. It's hard right now, right? And I was talking to one of my teachers I really look up to, and two things can exist at one time, right? in the same breath, I'm also so grateful. I'm so grateful for the person that I get to be in this world and the way that I continue to show up. And I'm so grateful for um, Leva and these relationships that I do have and the way that we can give back to the whole. I think about the way that we've come together and this beautiful vision that we had and our experiences being so common and just being in that light of knowing our spiritual contract and just knowing that working in that early childhood intervention and working on igniting that inner light and just that really beautiful piece of that understanding of our contracts. And it doesn't mean that it's not without pain and that, there isn't chaos accruing outside and things that I can't control. And so really there is that opportunity. And it's hard to witness the insanity and those repeated things. And also we are human and there is an opportunity here to have an understanding without having to repeat the same mistakes because there is a great, great lesson continuously given before us. So we have an opportunity to be the difference, not only that we need, but that the whole needs. As it was shared, it's not just for us as humans, but it's for our planet. It's for the whole. It exists. We're in a dis-ease. We're in an unsettled state and in a chaos. And in order for the dust to settle, there has to be a solution. And that solution has to start from the inside because we can't pour from anything that we haven't got. So trust me, my girl and I be going through the work too. We're going through it together. And that's what a lot of this is creating that space to just get real, share that reality of our experiences and figure out like what are people doing to get into solution or what are those things and where are those safe spaces. And that safety and that security all has to start from the inside. And so it's just really that invitation to just stand in your actuality and your truth, to be accountable, to be curious, to still play. We still get to play and have fun. We still get to create those spaces in the hardships, and we get to lean into our communities. And everybody has a value in that. And that's the thing is that playing small, this is what keeps going in my head. Playing small does not serve the world. Your light is necessary. Your gift to this world is necessary. And right now, it's like it is so, so important. And so we're here to honor that for you. And we're here to create that space as necessary. So I'm just really grateful for those that have shown up today and given their experience. And just, it's just so beautiful. It really is because there's so many different perspectives. And then there's still a lot of that like same-centered fear, unknown, and wish and hope for all of the greatness in light. There's power in that. And we're here for it.
In the healing, it starts internally. It's not an external, like, oh, I see that, we have to fix it. It's
I love shiny in people's
yeah.
rocks. That's a forever learning in progress, but I'm a rock shiner. It's not healthy.
I was
Hmm.
sharing during the hour previous of years ago, I did a program called Sacred Rage. There were actually two. One was about healing sexual trauma, but the second one was about racism. And when it first came to me, I was like, oh, do I have to? Like when spirit God gives you these assignments. Sometimes I allow myself to have the human response, and I'm like,
Tantrum?
really? Like, I mean, I will, but it's like I still had the human thing because I knew like it's such a tender, such a nuance, such a, you know, can be intense invitation again. And I had to look at it of what was it for me. And ultimately it was like, I mean, I am the perfect person to talk about it. Like, I'm literally black and white. I literally have the slave and the slave owner in my blood. And as I've gone on my spiritual journey, it has been that what the fight internally of like the bifurcated parts of myself. And is there one that's better? Is there one that's this? And like this internal struggle, and like healing that in myself allows that then to heal that in my experience. And the more of us that do that internal healing, then the more of it that can be outpictured in the world, in politics, in the financial world, in dealings of with people of other races, things like that. But it starts with us. Like, where are we not coming together within ourselves? Where are we judging within ourselves? Where are we still at odds with something that's a part of ourselves? Where is there shame or guilt or anger or judgment within yourself? And starting there.
Mhm. The fear of that letting go piece, that part that you're holding on to, that's not serving you, but it just feels like almost like you're gonna die if you let it go.
Yeah.
The other thing can't come in without that let go. And it's always a process. And I will give you complete permission to do what serves you and what calls to you and what's in your heart. But if you're going to keep repeating the same thing, it's going to get louder. It'll start screaming. It'll start banging on the doors. It gets really uncomfortable. So there's just really, in this full moon and stuff we were talking about too, just like that real shed, like that snow shade moon, and you're like, whew, we get to step into our greatest new version, and we can't do that holding on to something that isn't serving us or serving the whole. And it's not a judgment piece, but it's just a allowance of that new awareness to become an embodiment. And really that's the gift, and that's what life is, and that's what like that non-linear process of learning and that non-linear process of leaning into your spirituality and learning and growing in that creative space. And so I guess in a sense it's like, yeah, I guess that is one of my tools and what helps me get through is like that huge gratitude piece, that huge gratitude for life, that huge gratitude for who I get to be. And it's not that I'm perfect, because I'm not, but I'm willing to continue to show up and learn and be honest and be wrong. Because and have it not all be about me, sometimes. And you know, but there's these really beautiful ways that we get to show up in this creativity and this understanding. Um, and in that is like this service to the whole. So I just I know it's not easy out there. And I know, especially with raising babies and this and stuff, there's like my mama heart's hurting, like, and so we're not alone in that. And we have an incredible power, because I know that what I'm giving to my son is nothing but unconditional love. We're learning how to play. He knows the truth to his understanding appropriately, you know, And he gets to walk through life and go through the pain of the lessons and the trials. And then also he gets to experience joy in all the things. And the more that I lean into the practices, the more we're living in the moment. And the other stuff can't really exist in that because we're just right here. And so it's a practice. I'm not perfect. I struggle too. I just want to keep it real because it's like it's okay that it's hard, but it's also okay to lean into the light. It's okay to be okay, and it's okay to give that back. It just that's how we're going to heal and get better.
Yeah. So an acknowledgement that yes, there is fear, and yes, there is terror, and yes, there are things that are happening in this world that should not. There are people that are dead that should not. There are things that are happening and have happened that shouldn't have not. Yet they did. And what do we do with that? That is the opportunity. That is the invitation, again, of what I wrote several years ago. What do we learn? What do we do now? So let what has happened not be in vain, whether it's in our current reality or what's happened for generations. Let that not be in vain. Let us take our lives and our platforms and our responsibility in shifting the world for ourselves and our children. Like, this is the planet we're leaving for the kids. Like, do we want to fucking wreck it before we give it to them?
Please no. God.
So, you know, let's come together and
Let's focus on this planet before Mars. I'm just saying. Please. Like, can we love our mama Earth?
right,
Just saying.
exactly. So again, just a little bit of, again, knowing you are seen, you are held, you are heard, whatever your point of view is, whatever your stand is, and just an invitation to internally look in. What is your stand? Who are you standing for? And let's come together so that we are having a planet and a human race that is for each other and that is building for good and building for love.
And just like to touch on that too, if you're new to energetics, because it's not like a lot of people are new and it's like, and I get that, or maybe you don't have a practice or a meditation or things. Um, A, if you want to reach out, you're always welcome to. But B, um, it's okay to be curious. Like, it's okay. Like, what meditation for me is like an answer to my prayers or my sought, like my curiosities in a sense, like through my higher power and that connection to that greater goodness, right? And so if you want to like learn a practice or if you're new to that, it's okay to just find a quiet space. And if you want, like, however you like to do things, you want some rocks, you like candles, you like, you just, your sweet blanket you want to lay down, sit, you make it your thing because there's not really a lot of rigidity and rules around it. It's like your connection and your understanding, right? But go ahead and you can even write it down. There's a nice head to heart connection there and have like a time where you're praying and journaling and sit in silence. See what comes up. Do you hear anything? Does anything just like hit you like a bolt of lightning? Is there just like this one thing that no matter what, you just can't, it just keep popping up? Listen, get curious about it. And again, if you're like hearing this and you're curious and you're like, what the heck are you talking about? I want some peace and I want some solution and I don't know what the heck that is. Reach out. My hand and Leva's hand is out there. And we're here for you all. So it's not again, there's no rigidity. Like we love studying a whole bunch of different modalities. We're not limited. I feel like the medicine, the more you study and the more you learn, the more you see these different people and different things get to pop up. So um, allow your curiosity and your adventure to flow. And also I would love to hear like if a light piece comes up for you and you have this cause that comes up and you have some ideas about it. I'd love to hear about that too. So let's talk, you know? Like let's really create that empowerment because that's what is the the good stuff.
Hmm. Yes. And we're here to change the planet. I mean, we
Hmm.
don't think small, so
No,
and it's
big.
going to take more than just the two of us.
Yeah.
So, come on, link arms and bring your vision, bring your power, bring your heart, and let's connect and let's make it happen for our planet, our kids, ourselves. And yeah, let's do this.
All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to say or that was coming up before we close out today, Leva?
Hmm. I think the only thing that's coming up is again the quote that is it's been in my email message for years, and it is our kind of constellation of our message. Um, Apparently, I'm just reading all the things today.
I love it. Go ahead.
I mean, I am an avid reader, so
I'm the B
it's
type.
it's one of my favorite books. It's called Cradle to Cradle: Remaking the Way We Make Things. And this quote is such a North Star. And it says, how can we support and perpetuate the rights of all living things to share in a world of abundance? How can we love the children of all species, not just our own, for all time? Imagine what a world of prosperity and health in the future will look like and begin designing for it right now. What would it mean to become, once again, a native to this place, the earth, the home of all our relations? This is going to take us all, and it is going to take forever. But then that's the point.
That's why we're here.
Yes, that's why we're here. Come join us.
All right. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your Sunday and enjoy the ways that you are bringing in the energies of this potent full moon. And I look forward to hearing the collaboration of the community and the light that you get to bring forward.
Ciao.